Hi there, and welcome back to video 2 of my training series, The Joy of SVGs. My name is Jennifer, founder of the Cut Above SVG design course and the jennifermaker.com blog, and I am so glad to be back here with you. In this video, we're going to talk about how to get these amazing SVG files you found uploaded to your design software, such as Cricut Design Space or Silhouette Studio. But more importantly, I'm also going to show you how this training can help you create beautiful things with your cutting machine through the magic of SVGs. In video 1, we talked about finding SVGs, which was intended to help you find awesome projects to make. I also shared how this is going to immediately help you put your cutting machine to work. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it now and then come back to this one. Today, I'm going to build on what we've already learned by talking about getting these super cool SVG cut files into your design software. This will help you break free of the frustration of not understanding how they work and get you on track towards making things so that you can experience the beauty of a lovely home or the expression on your family's faces. We have a lot to cover today, so be sure you have some paper and a pen ready to take notes and follow along. The truth is that trying to get SVG cut files uploaded can be pretty frustrating sometimes. Sometimes they download into weird places or don't even look right after you've downloaded them. Other times they don't seem to upload the way we'd expect, or we can't get them uploaded at all. If you've ever experienced one of these issues before, it's totally normal. Even so, you can't let these frustrations get in your way of making things. I've heard of way too many stories of how people buy the latest Cricut and it just sits there because they are either afraid to use it or they're stuck on something. You do not need to be afraid. You can get unstuck. It's amazing and it has the power to change your life. I am not exaggerating. I am the perfect example of how it has changed your life. That's why in this video we're going to get super practical and talk about uploading these cut files. So are you ready to dig in? Now let's get all of those awesome SVG files you found into your design software. I'm going to show you how to upload in different ways on a variety of devices. Let's start with a Mac running Chrome. Go to Cricut Design Space at design.cricut.com and click on the New Project, which is a big green button with a plus in it. Okay, now click the Upload button. On the next screen, click Upload Image. On the screen that appears next, you can do one of two things. You can either drag your SVG file from the Finder right into the upload area. It will turn green when the window recognizes a valid file. Alright, so let's do that. Let's put in my Owl SVG and we're going to drag this right over. And you see, as you drag it, it turns green. And then you can just let go and the file uploads to Cricut Design Space. Be sure to give it a couple of seconds to upload. When it's done, it will tell you. There is my image over here on the left, and here you can name and tag your image. But let me show you the other way that you can upload. So we're going to cancel this. We click the Upload button. We click Upload Image. So you can click Browse and use the File Open window to locate and select your SVG file. So right here is the SVG file, and we just click this and then we click Open and it will upload. But here's a tip: if you're using the Browse button, type in SVG right here at the top and then select Scalable Vector Graphics from the drop-down menu. And this will bring up all SVG files that you have on your computer. And I have quite a few, like a lot actually. And this is a great way to find files that maybe you don't remember having and you want to get uploaded into Cricut Design Space, or you just can't find them and it's sorted by date modified, but you can also sort it in different ways. Owl shadow box card, and we're going to click Open. And there we go. So it's now uploaded, but we're not done yet. So when it's finished uploading, you don't want to stop yet. You have one more step before you save it, actually save it to Cricut Design Space. You need to name and tag your image, then click Save. So the name is right here, and usually the default image name, which is the name that was on the file, is fine. If it's not, go ahead and change it. But down here under tags, I recommend that you put in at least some tags, as it will help tremendously later on when you are looking for a file. Just put in some tags that will make sense to you. When you're ready, click the green Save button. Again, give it a chance. So there we go. Once the file is saved, you'll be back at the first upload screen and you should see your most recently uploaded file on the top left right here. By the way, if you've ever been stumped by why you don't see all of your uploaded images here, because I get this one a lot, just click the little View All link right there above all the images and it will show you all images that you've ever uploaded. I have 399 images that I've uploaded so far. It's pretty nifty, eh? So you can scroll through all of them or you can search them right up here. So for example, we put in the owl. So let's search on the owl and we'll put a filter in so it's just my images and not uploaded. And let's see. And there we go. There's the owl card that I uploaded. And this is my other owl card that I made for the Simple Layers card. And this was an owl I made for my sister. And these are things I think I saved in Access or that I have access to. But I probably saved them. So, but you can go back and you can always see your images by going to Upload at any time. And then it'll show you your most recent uploads. And then click View All to see all of your uploads. All right. So now that you've uploaded your file, you may be wondering just how to use it. So let's go back to Upload so we see our recent files. So what you should do is click once on the image of your upload. You will see a green box appear around the image to indicate you selected it. You'll also see a thumbnail of the image appear next to the Insert Images button. Now click Insert Images. The design appears on your canvas, ready to go. There are often things you need to do to designs, especially more complex and amazing designs after you upload. We'll talk about all of that in the next video. So that's how you upload in Chrome. Now, let me tell you what you should not do if you are attempting to upload a file. So let's go back to this is the downloaded folder that's got the files in it. Do not double click this file. I think this happens a lot. People think I should double click it and it will open right up into Cricut Design Space or another design software. It doesn't. Let me show you what happens when you double click it. Your computer goes, oh, well, I need to open this somewhere and I'm going to open it in illustration software. Most of you don't have illustration software and it'll fail and it will give you an error. In my case, I have Inkscape installed and it opens it up in Inkscape. I don't want this. This isn't going to help me unless I'm editing it, which is not what we're doing right now. So this is not what you want to do. Do not double click it. So let's go ahead and close this. All right. Do not drag it into your browser window. This will usually result in your browser displaying the image but not putting it into your design software. This will not get you where you want to go. Let me show you what I mean. So we're going to take this file. We're going to drag it over here to Chrome and I'm going to release it. It's going to ask if I want to leave the site. I'll go ahead and say yes just for the sake of showing you what happens. Now, here we go. So we see the image that's in the SVG file, but it's not in Cricut Design Space. This won't help us. This is not useful. Okay, so let's go back. And it's going to make us go all the way back. See, it didn't save anything, so we have to go all the way back here, which is where we were on our canvas. Okay. You also want to be careful to upload the SVG file, not the PDF or JPEG or any other file that might be in the folder. I should also note that while DXF files are allowed in Cricut Design Space, do not open those if you have an SVG. More data is in the SVG file and you'll have a better result with it. Most designers, including myself, include the DXF file for those who have design software that does not allow SVG files. So let me show you what happens if you try to upload the JPEG file. The JPEG file, in my case, is just completed image of the project so that those who download this have some idea of what they're making. This will not help you make your design. We don't want this. Click cancel. And if we upload the DXF file, which is in this folder as well, the color data will be missing. I believe that also some of the other information doesn't transfer quite the same way. Well, and so we have a big black box. So this is not going to help you either. So you want the SVG file to upload through your upload image window, and that will give you the results that you're looking for. All right, so now let's look at Windows running Firefox. So again, we go to Cricut Design Space at design.cricut.com. We click the New Project button and we click the Upload button over on the left. Then we want to click the Upload Image and we click Browse. You can also drag and drop with Windows. It works the same way, but I'm going to show you that the only thing that's different is the file open window. So we locate the SVG, and notice this was the wrong file. It's really important that you don't want to just upload the zip file. You want to find the decompressed version and then find the SVG inside that folder and upload that. Otherwise, it just won't work and it'll tell you it's wrong. So here we go. Our owl is uploaded. We add in some tags. And then we go ahead and click Save. And it will save to Cricut Design Space for us. And it appears over there on the far left. You click it and then click Insert Images. And this all works exactly the same way. Now let's talk about how to upload SVG cut files if you're using an iPad or even an iPhone. Remember, you can download files on these devices. If you have iOS version 11, you can download right to your iPad or iPhone or to a cloud service like Dropbox. If you're using an earlier version, you can use the Chrome remote access trick I mentioned in the last video. So first, let me show you how to upload SVG files to Cricut Design Space using an iPad or iPhone running iOS version 11 or later. To begin, open the Cricut Design Space app. Now tap New Project. Then tap Upload. Then tap Browse Files. And tap the SVG file. Do not tap the zip file. This will give you an error. Give the SVG file a name, then click Save. Once it is uploaded, you can tap the uploaded SVG and click Insert. And now you can use or edit your files in Cricut Design Space as you wish. Okay, so now let's go over uploading a file using the iPad that's running Chrome Remote Desktop, Chrome Remote Access. If you're not familiar with Chrome Remote Access, go back to my first video and I talk about how you can install it and how you can use it to do a whole lot of things that you can't normally do with an iPad or an iPhone with Cricut Design Space. So this is really a helpful tip. So here I am on my iPad. I'm going to go ahead and click Chrome Remote Access, and my app is already set up, so I'm going to connect to my iMac so that I can go ahead and do things. So I need to authenticate first, which is set up in advance when you install this initially. So here we are on my iPad looking at Cricut Design Space that's on my Mac. You could also do this to look at Windows. It works in either way. You just have to have it set up. So I'm going to walk you through how I can upload a file using my iPad without having to go to my Mac at all. So I'm going to click on New Project right over here on the left. And then I'm going to click the Upload button, also on the left. So let's click on Upload Image. And here we see exactly what we see in Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to use Browse. That's a lot easier to do using this interface. All right, so, and this screen is small on my iPad. You can enlarge it by using two fingers and spreading them apart, just like you would normally in an iOS app. So there's the SVG file, so I'm going to click it to select it, and then I'm going to click Open. And I'll make this smaller again so we can watch it. All right, there we go. So there's my owl file, and I can name and tag my image. So I can click here in the tag, and then up here in the upper right hand corner there's an icon of a keyboard. If you click that, your keyboard on your iPad comes up, and you can put in your tags, whatever you might like. Tags, by the way, are just sort of keywords that you can use when you're searching for things. And then we click the save button right there in the lower right, and it has saved for us just like it's supposed to. And again, we can continue to use the iPad to put this on our canvas, although at this point you're probably going to find it a little easier to go right to the Cricut Design Space app that is available from iOS. So let me show you. So we now have this owl card saved in Cricut Design Space. So let's go find the app, which is right here. And let's go up to search in all categories. Actually, let's choose over here on the left. Let's choose my projects in the cloud. And you know something? I think I'm wrong. So we need to actually save this as a project first. I don't think that the app can see your images, your uploaded images, since you can't natively upload in the app. So let's go back. And it's good that I did this, right? So that you aren't confused about why you can't see your images. So we need to save this owl as a project. So I'm going to show you very quickly how to do this so that you're ready to go in the next step, the next video, which is going to talk about how to prepare the files that you've uploaded for actually cutting and how to customize them as well. Okay, so we've selected our owl card. Let's make this a little bigger so I don't. All right, so let's do insert images. All right, so there is the owl on my canvas. Now to save this as a project, which is separate from saving as an image or just uploading, we're going to go to see this save button in the upper corner. We're going to click that. It will come up with a box that says save project. So we bring up our keyboard again, and we're going to type in owl shadow box card Jennifer. I'm not very good at typing on my iPad. And there we go. And hide the keyboard. Click save. It says it's saving. All right, so it's saved as a project, which is not normally something you need to do until you're actually ready to save it. But in this case, on the iPad, we want to do that. Now let's go back and go into the Cricut Design app. Again, that's different than using the Chrome Remote Access app to get to our desktop or laptop computers. Okay, so we're going to click the drop-down menu in the upper left corner and choose My Projects in the Cloud. This is important because these aren't saved on the iPad. They're saved in the cloud that we just did through remote access. And sure enough, it shows up and it's available for us to use. All we have to do is click on the project and it'll give us the option to use it. And we click OK and it will appear on our canvas. And that is how you get an SVG file uploaded into Cricut Design Space using an iPad running Chrome Remote Access. Now, I will be showing you how you can modify and prepare this file for cutting right here in the Cricut Design Space app in the next video. I don't want to forget my Silhouette users because I know there's plenty of you out there. So I want to show you how to get files into Silhouette Studio as well. Now, one thing that I need to note before we get started is that because I don't have a Silhouette, I therefore do not have the full version of Silhouette Studio. I have the free basic version, not the designer version. And to upload SVGs, you need to have a designer version. But as it turns out, you can upload DXF files. And this is one of the reasons that I include DXF files with all of my designs, so that people who don't have that more expensive version that you have to pay for with Silhouette, unlike Cricut, can still use my designs. So I'm going to show you how to upload the DXF version. So here we are in Silhouette Studio. The easiest way to upload, I think, to upload a file is to click this open folder icon in the upper left-hand corner. You click that, and your file open box comes up, and you just select the DXF file, and then you click OK, and it loads and appears on your canvas. Now, if we want to, let's select this and remove it, but we can also drag and drop just like we can with Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to go to my Finder, and here is my DXF file for the Owl Shadow Box card. And I'm going to drag this right here, and it's going to load just like it did before. So it works in a very similar way as Cricut Design Space. You're just using DXF files if you don't have the designer version, or you can use SVG files if you do have the designer version. Now, at this point, I won't be showing how to modify files in Silhouette Studio because, frankly, I don't use Silhouette Studio and I'm not experienced, and I would be doing you a disservice past this point to explain how to modify files in Silhouette Studio. So everything after this will be in Cricut Design Space, just so you are warned. But this is how you get DXF files into Silhouette Studio. Okay, so now that you've learned how to upload nearly any SVG on nearly any device, let's spend a few minutes looking at what this process looks like in action through a short case study. So one of my readers, Jessica, wrote me back at the start of summer. She told me about how she had gotten a new Cricut. She did the starter project, did a couple of easy projects in Design Space, but then got stuck. When I asked her why she was stuck, she said it was that she got her Cricut because she really wanted to make a bunch of giant flowers to decorate her daughter's room, but just couldn't figure out how to do it. She couldn't understand how to make things beyond what was presented in Design Space. So I told her about the giant flowers I designed, and I told her how she could download the SVG and how she could upload it. And that was all she needed. She was off and running and now has made a dozen giant paper flowers for her daughter. And yes, her daughter thinks her mom is amazing. I think her mom is pretty amazing too. Cool story, right? Okay, so let's do a quick review of what we've learned today. We learned how to find the SVG after you download it and how to decompress it when it's necessary. We learned how to upload SVGs to our design software using a Mac, a PC, and an iPad. And we learned how to add the uploaded file to our project space to actually make it. It's a lot of info, so be sure to review your notes and try to take action right away. Go get yourself an SVG. I have like 50 of them in my free resource library, and upload it right now. And speaking of taking action, before we go today, I want you to leave a comment right below this video and tell me about your experience uploading SVGs. Did this work for you, and do you have any tips for others? And in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to modify the SVG files in Cricut Design Space, including changing score lines and write lines. And I'm going to show you how to ungroup and show hide so that you can cut just the parts you want. If you are a Cricut owner, this is going to be a game changer for you. And speaking of finding amazing projects to make, I've also been getting a lot of questions about my Cut Above SVG design course. In the next video, I'll tell you all about it and how you can get started. Next up, we'll talk about how to take the next step towards modifying and actually making all these amazing projects you've been finding. I'll see you in the next video.